Okay, do you hear?
This is on.
Oh my God, I was like, what is that? Can you hear us? On the Zoom? Testing, testing. It's picking us up. On the Zoom, you can't hear us because it is picking us up now on the feed. Is there like a volume thing on the owl? No, because I'm far away from it, it's picking me up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's.
it's going better. Sorry, everyone. And Rich, if you got a text, that was what that was, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah, thank you.
It's so weird because I did it exactly the same.
How's it going?
You hear me?
Is that,
Oh, wait.
oh, now we hear you. Is that play button, that this arrow button?
But yeah, that was the YouTube.
Hasn't for me, like,
That doesn't matter really.
just, you know.
Wait, can we hear you on the thing? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Yeah, for little take like,
Okay, you can hear us?
Okay,
Okay, cool.
Right.
Okay, we're on, we're gonna just get started back to, I'll give a summary. Cool, awesome, all systems go, thanks Ari. Cool. Okay, and we're back, so, in summary, we did the Pledge of Allegiance, the land acknowledgement. I had added to the agenda, I guess we have to do everything, so Ariana can catch it, but we had added to the consent agenda, item number 5, removing the property at 2 South Ohio Road from the tax rolls because it was erroneously placed on the village's assessment. And then we added to the business agenda, number 7, which is a request for reduction of the village building department fee policy for extending the building permit. Item number 8, request to renew the annual service plan with Aria Filtra for the Pulse System Smart Box at the water treatment plant. Item number 9, to post a draft stormwater management plan to the village website with public comment to last for a 10-day period. So I move that we approve both the consent and business agendas as amended a second time. Sorry. Second. Stevie seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Awesome. And then with announcements, I guess I have a whole bunch of announcements. So first, are the mayor's appointments. So, I was explaining to the audience, but now, in case Ariana wants on this for your notes, or, I guess some people were tuned in at home that couldn't hear it. So for those folks too, I just wanted to kind of explain that usually, these appointments are part of the reorganization agenda. And so like they're the mayor's appointments, but, yeah, so just really excited because it's Women's History Month. So I am thrilled to appoint Jasmine Towers to fill the village trustee position that was vacated when I was formally appointed mayor. Jasmine's filling this vacancy for the duration of the year. Congrats and thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm also thrilled to appoint trustee Stevie Sesta as deputy mayor for the rest of the year. Thanks for stepping up the way you have already this year. And you know, congratulations. And thanks for all your good work.
Thank you.
And so just putting a pin in this point, but basically any liaisonships that we had put in our reorganization agenda in which we had written mayor and acting mayor will now be mayor and deputy mayor. So I need a little bit more time to kind of just look a fine-tooth comb, go back through that and make sure which appointments those might be and share that with you all for next meeting. But I already kind of figured out how to redistribute those roles if needed. Other announcements, Senator Hinchy kicked off her personal care supply drive in conjunction with Institute for Family Health, which serves Ulster and Dutchess counties by providing everyday necessities to community members in need. This initiative will help promote health, dignity, and stability for those facing financial hardship. So from now through April 9th, Senator Hinchey is collecting items like shampoo, deodorant, feminine hygiene products, toothpaste, etc. at her Kingston office on Broadway in Kingston. And I am planning to visit Team Hinchey that week. So if anyone wants to bring supplies to me, find me at Village Hall in advance of April 8th. I'm hoping to bring a couple bags of stuff up to Senator Hinchey on the 9th. So we have some Know Your Rights events coming up as a part of our Village Housing Smart Communities Task Force. And big thanks to our Landlord Tenant Relations Council. First is Signing Leases 101 is this Monday, March 9th, 11 a.m. at SUNY New Paltz Student Union Building, room 402. So please join the New Paltz chapter of New York Public Interest Research Group, that's NYPIRG, Legal Services of the Hudson Valley, of course, the Village's Landlord Tenant Relations Council, and New Paltz's Housing Smart Communities Task Force to learn about our rights and responsibilities when it comes to renting. This is a really helpful workshop for both tenants and landlords, so come through. And then this one is really exciting because we only get to do this once every year instead of every semester, but Shine a Light on Utilities. It's coming up on Thursday, March 19th at 6:00 p.m. in SUNY New Paltz Student Union Building, room 401. So please join New York Public Utilities Law Project, that's PULP, for a free workshop, get to know your utilities rights and responsibilities and what to do when you need help with utilities issues. So this is co-hosted by, again, NYPIRG, the Landlord Tenant Relations Council, and the Housing Smart Communities Task Force. So we invite all New Paltz community members to join on this in-person discussion on utility consumer rights in New York State. PULP attorneys will be shedding light on how consumers can receive financial assistance if they are in arrears. Lastly, the session will close with an opportunity for the audience to ask questions. If you cannot make it, email info@utilityproject.org, and Lori and her team will help you out. And that is all I had for announcements for now. Anyone else?
No.
Cool. Any public comment? No? Okay, and we had no public hearings. So now, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, business agenda. So, first I put on here a resolution for Women's History Month, but actually now I want to, put a hold on it until our joint meeting because the town historian, is helping me get that super right. So yeah, but basically, I had started working on it as a way, if we're going to consolidate, I want to make sure that women's history in the village in particular doesn't get lost. And, thanks to different news articles that went around and stuff, I connected with this awesome woman who was the first woman to serve as appointed mayor in 1983, Judith. And we were talking and just about like women in politics and stuff. And so I was like, oh, it's time for us to do a resolution like honoring like local women in politics. So stay tuned. I just need our town historian's help to make it really awesome. And I should have something to share with everyone within a week. Item 2 is, so my notes I wrote out of order, so bear with me. Item 2 is the appointment of a part-time municipal code enforcement officer. Let me find that item in my notes. So yeah, I move to approve the appointment of Rich Dreo to the position of municipal code officer, building inspector 1 on a 20-hour per week part-time basis, effective March 9th, 2026. The rate of compensation for the position will be $28 as per the CBA. And Mr. Dreo will actively seek his New York State certification for the position and will have 1 year to attain such.
Question,
Do you want to, yeah.
does that mean Alex is not going to be in that role?
So Alex resigned from that role. Well, previously, yeah, he's been more of a as needed basis.
Right.
Yeah.
So you won't be doing that as needed thing.
Yeah, we won't really be needing him now. We can leave him alone. But yeah, but it's not canceling that out because he hasn't been doing like an actual employed.
No, I meant as a
Thing,
part.
yeah. Yeah, because he wasn't really employed, like he was just like as a consultant, I think, yeah, was the word. Yeah, so do I have a second? And then we can have more discussion.
Okay.
Okay, second, did we have discussion? Or that was it?
Just a quick question, there's also a vacancy of a full-time position, so is that in the process of being filled?
No, so, the idea is that, it would be great for some of our current staff that aren't like quite there yet, but would be like lifelong people in this position, to have the opportunity to like learn under someone who's like done it. And it was really cool with all of us like meeting, you know, the different candidates and with, Mr. Dreo, just kind of all the different pieces fell into place where we were like, wow, we could like achieve all these different goals at once, where we can like, have this role filled, in a part-time manner, you know, and train these other like staff who, you know, need that kind of, you know, like assistance, like, and get out into the field more and in these inspecting ways and all of that, and really like learn the ropes. So that, yeah. So it was kind of like a 1-2 punch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it just was because, you know, the right applicant came forward. Yeah,
Great, thanks.
yeah. All right, all right, motioned, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cool, thank you, thank you. It's like always cool when you meet someone who's done this kind of work for like 1,000 years, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you for coming, I wanna learn, so, yeah. Okay, number 3 is, you know, I'm just gonna actually like, in my notes, get rid of the ones, okay, Westview Development LLC, the tree agreement and restoration bond. So, what I'm going to say is, I make a motion, for the Village Board of Trustees to authorize approval of, the amount, which I think changed in the last minute. Hang on.
I'm attorney for the applicant, so I can also answer any questions. if you
Oh,
want me
sweet.
to. Yeah, the bond amount is $23,500.
Oh, that's what I had, okay.
Yeah, and that was recommended by the village engineer Colliers.
Cool, so, yeah, I move for, what's your name?
My name's Allison Bowser.
Oh, hey, Allison, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, New Paltz, so I move that the village board authorizes the approval of $23,500 cash bond to be posted by Westview Development LLC for tree removal and restoration for the parcels identified as 147 to 149 and 151 North Chestnut Street. So the agreement is approved, amended per the Colliers engineering memo dated March 4th, which is today. Furthermore, the billing department is authorized to certify that such agreement is properly fulfilled before issuing a land clearing permit.
Second.
That was a long, motion, but
Just a quick
Yeah.
clarification, is this a motion for all aspects of this, item on the agenda?
yeah, so all aspects, all those different pieces, again, I'm sorry, a lot of the, backup stuff came in a little bit later. But as you can see, it was dated today and Mike was working really hard on getting that info, you know,
Yeah.
to us. Thanks to you guys too. So they all are basically summed up in that big motion, yeah.
Okay.
That's basically, the only action for us to take, yeah,
Okay, great.
cool. All in favor, all right, okay, aye, cool, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay, cool, we got that done. Okay, so resolution, supporting increased aid to municipalities and strengthening New York's, state and local partnership. So, let me find my notes on that, sorry. So, I'll motion and get a second, and then I can give in discussion, like my explanation that's like backup. That's cool. So I moved, to pass the resolution supporting increased aid to municipalities, which is AIM, and strengthening New York state local partnerships.
Second.
Okay, discussion. So I have something to say. So I wanted to share that I had signed on to this letter of NICOM, New York Conference of Mayors, on this topic. And basically this resolution will help back up that letter, and hopefully push this bit of extra aid to municipalities over the finish line. So basically, we're like, I just want to explain this because it's, you know, a very jargony resolution. So we're expressing appreciation for the governor's 30-day amendments to her executive budget, which include an additional 100 million in temporary municipal assistance to be allocated in the same manner as in the past 2 years. And so basically this proposal reflects like a meaningful recognition on the governor's part that the state's strength, is here on the local level, and all of that jazz. So, I guess I don't need to say all the other flowery language, but basically want to say I've signed on a letter and this is like going to help bolster it. And like, there's a bunch of other villages passing this week too. Cool.
And a quick question, when something's called temporary in the state budget, that just means it's a single year?
Yeah, well, one theme, very good question, Rich. One theme in government seems to be, we say temporary and sometimes it drags on. When it's a line of money, we want it to drag on forever. But when it's like the town, like their temporary trailers, we don't want that to drag on forever. So it is a flag when it's something temporary. It means it's even more precarious than anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now the fun part. So we have ourselves a tentative budget. And so our goal for tonight is basically to, for me to just share quick top lines and for us to hopefully set the public hearing for April 1st. So I'll share those top lines and then kind of, and also like kind of process since like so much newness at the table and also in the community, always, it's good to know. So basically it's interesting because our budget process is very similar to that of the states where you'll see in January, so they're a little bit ahead of us because they're a much bigger body, but you'll see the executive branch, which is the governor, will present her executive budget. And then she'll have her 30-day amendments, which I just referenced in that resolution. And then now the legislature is kind of working with that framework and then with their versions of the budget. And then they'll be reconciling 3 versions. We do it a lot easier because we are just a village, not a state. But some of the process is kind of the same. So I just wanted to share like those reflections. So basically Nancy, our treasurer, and I've been working on this, since day 1 this year. And so I'm presenting this tentative budget for us and these top lines with the goal of basically, it'll be open to the public, like available to the public in all the ways that you all like to access information at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We filed it at 4 p.m. today, which is when I send it to you all. And I'm sure you haven't had a chance to read it. And I even expressed when I shared it, like really, we're not going deep dives into it. That's why, this is just one step of the process. So basically, the timeline is, I have the timeline. I have lots of things here. So like our timeline is like, we have to get it done, and we will be in advance of the timeline basically, but having our public hearing on April 1st, keeping it open for the next meeting on the 22nd and passing at that meeting gives us enough time to basically stay on this fiscal cycle. So basically that's that. So some top lines from it.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you said we'd do the public hearing opens in our next meeting
No,
on the 1st.
yeah, this way at the next meeting, we can talk about it as a board after you guys have seen it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we vote on it in which meeting?
At the 22nd is what I'm proposing. Yeah. We could open and close it and approve it at the April 1st meeting, but I like giving people time because usually our journalists will go and write about like, oh, they opened the public hearing on the budget and blah, blah, blah. And if the next sentence is, and they closed it, like, I don't know, village people, you tend to be like, I didn't get a chance. So that's why, we're trying to have this more like a longer timeline or as long as the timeline as we can within like realities. Yeah.
Great.
So, and I'm hoping that next meeting would be the time that in the village only section, we can bring, deeper dive questions and discuss it together, right? So I'll share the top lines, and that this way that's kind of notes that we can all look back at in the next 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks from now, if there's any deeper questions about line by line stuff, You know, we can go through that. And in the meantime too, you know, Nancy's doors are open, my doors are open. So, the bottom line is, no tax increases. You know, continuing Tim's awesomeness. Revenue, so it's interesting because revenue expenses are both down, basically like a wash, so, it's just interesting to look at, just wanna like flag that when you guys like dig into it, it's like, how's this work? And it just works. So some things are down due to like some really good stuff and some really bad, not good stuff, but just stuff. So we paid off our shiny new fire station in full, so we're no longer carrying that debt, so that's a whole piece that you won't see in there that we've had for a long time, right? So that's a big change. I do want to note that New York State retirement is up 13% and health insurance costs are up 8%. And so these numbers actually come out a bit lower anyway, though, even with those increases due to changes in staff statuses and some really sad deaths of retirees. So that's why, even though that's a dire situation, it kind of came out as a wash also. Some other notes, the fire reserve contributions up, and we'll be paying for a brand new truck at some point in cash, so that we don't have to carry that debt for that super essential purchase. It does include, the tiny bit of funding for New York State paid family leave, should we decide to opt into this at a future date, which is a project that Stevie and I have been working on and preparing a memo for all of us to discuss in the future, and surveying all staff on it too. It does include some small raises for staff, that were, you know, previously promised and come into fruition, or, you know, trying to just make good on as much of the asks that have been made, in all the meetings from the past 2 months. So we are in the midst of an affordability crisis. So I just wanted to note that we're trying to do what we can to take care of everybody as much as humanly possible while keeping the tax rate, you know, flat. I want to share on this note that the NICOM, your Conference of Mayors, has a salary survey that they just released for us to fill out. So I'm excited to fill that out and kind of get the results back, to see kind of what's going on across the board. So, you know, just thought that was pretty interesting. So I do want to note that, because this is an excuse to kind of shout out Senator Hinchey and Assemblymember Strasser real quick. So normally we have to do budget modifications once we see the final numbers from the New York State budget. And so this year is no different to that end. So we don't really include the special lines of funding, like SUNY impact aid. So if you're looking for that, you know, you're not going to see it in ours. Why? Because you don't see it in the governor's executive budget, not in her 30-day amendments either. That said, we are totally, if, you know, Senator Hinchey and Assemblymember Strasser are watching, we're counting on you to not only restore that line, which we're confident they will, but to increase it to 400K. So just wanted to note, if you're looking for that, when you read through it, that's what's going on there. Again, the bottom line is there's no increase in property taxes, and, you know, balancing these budgets is like really fun. It's fun work. This is really fun, but it's like no small feat. And so, I really think, I just wanted to say, like, big love to our treasurer, Nancy, for just being a true icon when it comes to this work. So with that, and the schedule that I laid out, I would like to move to set the public hearing for our said tentative budget for April 1st at 7 p.m. and showing such changes, alterations, and revisions as shall have been made therein by us, will be, you know, encompassed in that on April 1st.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sweet. Exciting stuff. Okay, so I move to approve our resolution for bills and claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then, into some of the stuff we added. Oh, yes, so I move to approve the, request for reduction of the village building department fee for extending a building permit, per the letter, memoed out, regarding 137 North Chestnut Street. discussion, I just want to note that, you know, our Director of Planning and Building, Mike Dayton, had, you know, pointed out that we have, you know, allowed for such an extension, basically a payment plan with other big projects in the past. So that's why I feel comfortable approving it.
Yeah, I did have a question. It's not a reduction to the fee.
Yeah.
It's actually just a payment over time of the fee. And do we have, knowing that fees of any magnitude are all relative to the person's means and the size of the project, is there any process by which anyone can request this type of a fee payment schedule?
This is the process.
But I mean, this is the process being raised by, you know, a multi-million-dollar project with
Yeah.
attorneys and representation and all of that, who wrote a letter and asked for this. If someone has a $700 fee and finds that onerous, can they also request this type of an extension?
Yeah, you know, so that tends to be, and so very good point though on the equity there. It's the same thing with, you know, men and women, you know, and theys and thems in workplace, like who ask for raises, it's always cishet white men, you know. So who ask for, you know, these payment plan extensions with building projects, multi-million-dollar developers, 100%. So I don't know if that's the issue we can tackle today, although I would love to. And I thank you for highlighting that, but yeah, I mean, if anything for us, like highlighting this right now, it's a way to highlight, that like, this is a process, if you need that kind of assistance, you know, with anything, even, like, there was someone who wandered upstairs today, very distraught about a bunch of parking tickets. I was like, talk it out and figure out like payment plans, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to court for stuff, like, you can also figure out, you know, a payment plan, you know,
Okay.
when you're struggling with your landlord. My first move myself and my first recommendation to friends, you know, is work out a payment plan, get in writing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess I'm asking something genuine, not just to make a
Yeah.
point. My genuine question is this type of process and approval available to anyone who has a fee that they might find challenging? And if it's not, then this is an exception that we, of course, can all vote for and say yes to. They're citing the fact that the other big building also got this deal, so they want the deal.
Yeah,
But I think about all the people that, relatively speaking, it could be just as challenging to make that kind of a payment.
100%.
So I just want to, one, flag it and highlight it, and two, say that maybe after this one, it would be worth sitting down and saying, are we either going to do this or not? Because we can't do it for the rich developer and not for the homeowner.
Right. You know, and really good points. And it's tough when, we kind of got this added, like, more last minute, you know, to be honest. And I'm not totally sure. Yeah, because we are like approaching the 1 year mark on the 1st, so.
Yeah. Okay.
It is kind of like time barred is like what that would be called.
I'm comfortable moving with the vote. I just wanted to make that point.
But
Yeah,
Mike was the person who reviewed this and
yeah,
has an understanding and depth of the issues and
yeah,
history and so to some extent, we're deferring to him.
yeah, that's basically what I feel comfortable doing here is like deferring to Mike on this one.
Yeah.
Really good point. All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay, cool. Really good questions, guys. Okay, and then next was another item added really last minute. So this is a request to renew the annual service plan with Aria Filtra for the Paul System Smart Box at the water treatment plant for a cost of $27,393. So I move to approve this request. We get a second, I can give a little bit more background.
Second.
Okay, awesome, thank you. So basically, this is the system monitoring for the water treatment plant. It's the thing that provides like analytics. It basically is like an essential part of this, and having the service plan is pretty essential. So sorry about the last minute-ness of it, but, it's pretty perfunctory, necessary part of our, water treatment plant, if that makes sense. Cool. So all in favor? Aye. Awesome. And then this other item that really was an 11th-hour item, but we have to get this one done by the morning. So, yeah, and, big thanks to Heather for like literally working on this right up until our meeting. So I move that we post the draft stormwater management plan to the village website with public comment to last for a 10-day period.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome, thank you, thank you. So do we have a planning board report?
If I'm correct, I looked at the agenda and checked the meeting, there was only one single small project. And so there's not an update, I mean, anything significant.
That was a good update, thank you. And then, was there ZBA?
No,
Yeah,
not yet, no.
exactly, that's what I thought, sweet, so that's a good update. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn,
So,
all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll turn everything off.
Wow, that was really.
We did it, even with the.
That was quick, even with that.